The name Sean Diddy Combs evokes images of wealth, success, and musical dominance. Known for his extravagant lifestyle and influential presence in the music industry, Diddy has built an empire that many admire and aspire to emulate. But recent events threaten to tarnish this carefully crafted image. The media is abuzz with scandalous headlines, and the public is left questioning the integrity of a man who once seemed untouchable. The hip-hop mogul finds himself embroiled in a legal firestorm, his name once again linked to the unsolved murder of Tupac Shakur. This case, which has perplexed investigators and fans alike for decades, now threatens to unravel the legacy Diddy has worked so hard to build. The case, cold for decades, has been thrust back into the spotlight, casting a long shadow over Diddy's glittering career. The renewed interest in Tupac's murder has brought with it a wave of speculation and intrigue, drawing the public's attention to the darker side of the music industry. The specter of Tupac's unsolved murder has haunted the music industry for years. The mystery surrounding his death has left a void in the hearts of fans and a stain on the reputation of those implicated. Now, with the emergence of new court documents, the case takes a dramatic turn. These revelations have reignited the public's interest and have brought new scrutiny to those involved. These documents, part of a wrongful death lawsuit filed by Tupac's family, contain explosive allegations against Diddy. The lawsuit claims that Diddy played a significant role in the events leading up to Tupac's untimely death. The accusations stem from a 2009 police interview with Dwayne "Keffy D. Davis, a former Crip gang member. Davis's testimony has added a new layer of complexity to the case, providing details that were previously unknown to the public. Davis, implicated in Tupac's murder, struck a deal with authorities. His cooperation with law enforcement has been a double-edged sword, offering insights while also raising questions about his own involvement. He agreed to provide information in exchange for immunity. This deal has allowed him to speak openly about the events of that night without fear of prosecution, but it has also cast doubt on the reliability of his statements. This deal, however, came with a chilling caveat. Davis could not be charged for his role in the murder unless he was the one who pulled the trigger. This legal nuance has created a complex web of accountability and suspicion. This legal loophole has allowed Davis to speak freely about that fateful night in Las Vegas, albeit with the knowledge that his words could have dire consequences. His testimony has painted a vivid picture of the events, but it has also left many questions unanswered. Diddy has vehemently denied any involvement in Tupac's death. In numerous interviews and public statements, he has maintained his innocence, asserting that the allegations are nothing more than an attempt to defame his character. He maintains his innocence, claiming the allegations are baseless and defamatory. Diddy has expressed his frustration with the ongoing legal battles, emphasizing his desire to clear his name and move forward. Yet the shadow of suspicion lingers. Despite his denials, the public remains divided, with some believing in his innocence and others convinced of his guilt. The court of public opinion is often swift and unforgiving, and the accusations have already begun to take a toll on Diddy's reputation. Social media has been ablaze with debates and discussions, further complicating the narrative and impacting his public image. Dwayne "Keffy D. Davis, a self-proclaimed Compton kingpin, claims to hold the key to unlocking the mystery of Tupac's murder. His revelations have sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community and beyond, reigniting debates and discussions about one of the most infamous unsolved cases in music history. In his chilling testimony, Davis implicates Diddy in a murder-for-hire plot. The courtroom was tense as he recounted the events, with every word he spoke adding to the gravity of the situation. He alleges that Diddy, fueled by a bitter rivalry with Tupac and his label boss, Marion Suge Knight, put a bounty on the rapper's head. This claim has brought new attention to the long-standing feud that many believe was at the heart of the violence that plagued the hip-hop scene during the 90s. Davis's words, spoken under oath, paint a grim picture of that fateful night. The details he provides are haunting, offering a glimpse into the dark underbelly of the music industry where power struggles and vendettas can have deadly consequences. He claims that Diddy offered a staggering $1 million to anyone who could silence Tupac permanently. This alleged bounty adds a sinister layer to the already complex narrative of Tupac's murder. According to Davis, the atmosphere in Las Vegas was thick with tension, the air crackling with animosity between the East Coast and West Coast factions of the hip-hop world. The rivalry was more than just a musical competition. it was a cultural clash that had real-world implications. The rivalry between Diddy, a prominent figure in the East Coast scene, and Tupac, a West Coast icon, was no secret. Their public feuds and diss tracks only fueled the fire, making the eventual violence seem almost inevitable in hindsight. It played out in the media, on airwaves, and tragically on the streets. The public was captivated by the drama, but few could have predicted the deadly turn it would take. Davis's testimony suggests that this rivalry escalated to deadly levels, culminating in the drive-by shooting that claimed Tupac's life. The loss of Tupac was a devastating blow to the music world, and his death remains a poignant reminder of the dangers of unchecked rivalries. Davis's claims, though explosive, are not without their critics. Skeptics argue that his story is too convenient and question the timing of his revelations. Some law enforcement officials have questioned his credibility, pointing to inconsistencies in his accounts over the years. They argue that Davis's narrative has changed too many times to be entirely trustworthy. Others argue that Davis, facing legal troubles of his own, may be motivated by self-preservation. His testimony could be a strategic move to gain favor with prosecutors or to negotiate a better deal for himself. He could be fabricating or embellishing details to secure a lighter sentence or deflect attention from his own alleged involvement. The truth behind his testimony remains a subject of intense debate, leaving the public to wonder what really happened on that tragic night. To understand the alleged motives behind Tupac's murder, one must delve into the turbulent world of 1990s hip-hop. The East Coast-West Coast rivalry was at its peak, a fierce battle for dominance fueled by ego, greed, and a potent mix of money and fame. At the heart of this conflict were two towering figures, Diddy and Suge Knight. Diddy, the CEO of Bad Boy Records, represented the slick, commercially successful sound of the East Coast. Suge Knight, the head of Death Row Records, championed the West Coast's harder-edged, gangsta rap aesthetic. Tupac, signed to Death Row, became a central figure in this feud, engaging in public spats and diss tracks that inflamed tensions. The rivalry went beyond music. It was a clash of cultures, of identities, and of ambitions. Both Diddy and Knight sought to control the lucrative hip-hop market. They used their labels as weapons, signing artists, releasing diss tracks, and engaging in public feuds that often spilled over into violence. This feud escalated after a shooting incident at a New York City recording studio. Tupac, present during the attack, publicly accused Diddy and Biggie Smalls, Diddy's close friend and a fellow Bad Boy artist, of orchestrating the assault. This accusation ignited a firestorm, further fueling the East Coast-West Coast rivalry and setting the stage for the tragic events that unfolded in Las Vegas. Section 4. The walls close in. Diddy's legal troubles mount. The accusations in Tupac's case are not the only legal challenges Diddy currently faces. He is embroiled in several other lawsuits, including allegations of sexual harassment and assault. These accusations, brought forth by multiple women, paint a disturbing picture of Diddy's behavior. They allege a pattern of misconduct spanning decades that casts a dark shadow over his carefully cultivated public persona. Several women have come forward with harrowing accounts claiming Diddy made unwanted sexual advances, groped them without consent, and engaged in other forms of sexual misconduct. These allegations have prompted investigations, sparking outrage and calls for accountability. Diddy has vehemently denied these allegations, dismissing them as attempts to extort money from him. He maintains his innocence, claiming he is a victim of false accusations. His legal team has launched a vigorous defense, seeking to discredit his accusers and clear his name. These legal battles, regardless of their outcome, have already taken a toll on Diddy's image. They have tarnished his reputation, raising questions about his character and casting a pall over his business ventures. The once untouchable mogul now finds himself in the unenviable position of having to defend his legacy against a growing tide of accusations. Section 5. A Mother's Anguish. Afeni Shakur's relentless pursuit of justice was not just a quest for answers, but a mission driven by love and an unyielding desire for truth. Afeni Shakur, Tupac's mother, dedicated her life to seeking justice for her son, who was taken from her in a brutal and senseless act of violence. She believed, until her death in 2016, that Tupac's murder was not a random act of violence but a carefully orchestrated hit, a belief that fueled her tireless efforts. Afeni tirelessly pursued legal avenues, relentlessly pushing for answers and accountability. She faced numerous obstacles, but her resolve never wavered. Afeni, a former Black Panther, instilled in Tupac a strong sense of social justice and the importance of standing up for what is right. She taught him to question authority, to fight for what he believed in, and to use his voice to amplify the struggles of the marginalized. Her teachings were deeply rooted in her own experiences and activism. After his death, Afeni channeled her grief and anger into a tireless pursuit of justice. She refused to let her son's legacy be defined by his tragic end. She filed lawsuits, met with investigators, and used her platform to keep Tupac's case in the public eye. Her efforts were a constant reminder that the fight for justice is ongoing. Afeni refused to let the world forget her son or the unanswered questions surrounding his murder. She was determined to keep the spotlight on the case. She believed that someone, somewhere, held the key to unlocking the truth, and she devoted her life to finding that person. Her search was both a personal and public crusade. Afeni's unwavering determination serves as a reminder that behind the headlines and the sensationalism, there is a grieving mother who lost her son too soon. Her pain was a driving force in her quest for justice. Her fight for justice is a testament to the enduring power of a mother's love and the importance of holding those responsible for violence accountable, no matter how powerful or influential they may be. Afeni's legacy is one of strength, resilience, and an unbreakable bond between mother and son. Section 6. Justice delayed, justice denied, the shadow of doubt remains. Despite the passage of time and the emergence of new information, the question of who killed Tupac Shakur remains unanswered. The Las Vegas Police Department's investigation, plagued by inconsistencies and allegations of corruption, has failed to bring closure to the case. The shadow of doubt continues to loom large, fueled by conspiracy theories and a pervasive sense that justice has been denied.